So thank you everyone for joining our workshop today, and thank you very much ServiceNow for providing this workshop for our community. So my name is Jeffrey Kim, and I'm the lead of GDSC PolyU. And at GDSC, we care a lot about community, networking, and growth, not only for tech backgrounds, but also for non-tech backgrounds. So we've been collaborating with ServiceNow from last year with the hackathon that we called PolyHack. So this year, we want to provide with various workshops with ServiceNow with So could you move on to the next slide? So we want to provide you guys with some career talk, career trends, and how to be much better at using ServiceNow platform. And then we want to end with another hackathon, PolyHack. So on the next slide, so you can check out that our grand fund prize was 150,000 Hong Kong dollars, where if you use ServiceNow, there's a bigger bonus. So we really encourage you guys to learn this platform so that you guys can have the most that you can take away at the end of the competition. So last year we had various workshops with ServiceNow, but we want to go back this year with some fundamentals to show you all the different things that you can do with ServiceNow. And how ServiceNow can help you with your software development. So Carmen, could you please go on with the presentation? So Carmen is an advisory solution consultant at ServiceNow, and she'll be showing you how you can simplify and advance your work with ServiceNow.
Thank you, Jeffrey. So thank you for the introduction. My agenda for today is really to introduce ServiceNow to the audience, right? Maybe some of you have heard about ServiceNow, maybe some of you have never heard about ServiceNow. So for this session, it's really to introduce you to what is ServiceNow. Before we start, because we do have quite a number of members from ServiceNow in this call, I would like to go around the table for each individual members to introduce themselves. Maybe we'll start with Albert.
Hi everyone. My name is Albert Lee. I'm the managing director for ServiceNow North Asia. So yes, I think this is a good opportunity for us to really sponsor this event, this hackathon, and my team is here to support you. So yeah, I think that there are also different prizes that we are going to give out, and I will discuss further with Vanessa. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thank you.
How about Eddie? Shall we start with you next?
Hi everyone. This is Eddie. I'm leading the solution consulting team and of North Asia, Hong Kong. So great to support you.
KB, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm KB. I'm part of Eddie's team from the solution consulting team. Very interested in the experiences you guys learned today. So happy to support, and I'd love to learn a lot more from you guys as well.
And Vanessa?
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm a head of corporate strategy for North Asia. Very excited to be organizing this event again. And we can't wait to see what new ideas you come up with. And we're going to make the process really fun this year, even more fun than last year. So the fun doesn't start at the hackathon. It's going to start right now. And we're going to talk more on Discord after this meeting and see what fun and learning we can have together. Thank you.
So last but not least, myself, I'm Carmen. If you guys have joined the PolyHack last year, you probably heard from me from numerous workshops. So as Jeffrey has mentioned, I'm a advisory solution consultant at ServiceNow. I actually have an engineering background. My studies in past many years was in Master of Science in engineering, electrical engineering in particular. And from my career perspective, I've actually worked with different technology companies over the past 20 years at different positions as a pre-sales, as I'm now. Solution consultants, services delivery, partners development, partners engagement, etc. So I do have a broad spectrum from more like mentoring your team in particular. And if you have questions on how do I go about developing my career, this is my background, that's what I'm interested in, we're definitely happy to share with you on a career day each of our individual experiences. I've lived in like different countries, as in I was born in Hong Kong, then immigrated to Canada with family, studied there, went to US for my first job, working for a company called Motorola, which some of you may not even heard of. And then studied in the UK, somehow ended up back in Hong Kong, working for many years here. Though I've worked in Hong Kong for many years, I've actually traveled more outside of Hong Kong than physically being in Hong Kong until COVID hits. So my past job experiences was more in enabling businesses, partners across the APAC region. So I do understand, as of, from the polyhack community, we have different competitor attendees from different regions, as of like Philippines, India, mainland China, etc. So I do understand the cultural background as to, how do we go about enabling yourselves in a successful path ahead. So now I get into what is ServiceNow. We are headquartered in the US. We're quite a sizable company, although many of you may not have heard of us. Worldwide, we do have about 17,000 or more employees, and we started like 20 years in 2004. Last year, we are voted on Glassdoor. If you're familiar with Glassdoor, it's basically a career finding website. As of, we're voted as the best place to work in 2022. A little bit history about ServiceNow. We've been around for 20 years, as in most technology company. It's organic growth and acquisition growth. So this map actually tells you over time, our technology grow with different versions, with acquiring technology. So what's unique about ServiceNow? It's after we acquire the technology, we open up the technology, repackage it in, restructure it, and then put it onto our platform. So it becomes then a native technology on our platform. Unlike other organizations, when we talk about mergers and acquisition, it could simply be, we buy a piece of technology, but it's loosely tied to other solutions within the organization. So that's what I find really unique about ServiceNow: acquisition and making the technology a native technology on the ServiceNow platform. And that's how we grow our capabilities, both organically and through acquisition. So what's ServiceNow's purpose, right? We do make the world better for everyone. That's a pretty strong statement to make, and I can tell you why. So this is an overview in terms of what ServiceNow helps organizations in the world in achieving. We want to help organizations in achieving better customer experience, in achieving technology excellence, in enabling the employee to increase work productivity by enabling a better employee experience. And then overall, right, within an organization, there's so many processes, so many people, so many technology. How do we overall enable operational excellence by understanding any bottlenecks and resolving those bottlenecks and optimizing processes within an organization? Now, what I'm focused in ServiceNow, it's build and automate. So for those technical audiences out there, if you're in an engineering background, computer science background, you might or might not end up where I am. So I'm continuously building new applications for customer to enable their day-to-day work with ease and automation. So now, if I, actually put out that architecture, high-level architecture diagram of that entire estate of those ServiceNow technology on a high level, that's where build and automate is, right? It's that core, it's that heart of the company where we continuously grow those end users' experience and automate and connect to different technologies for what we call hyper automation for organizations. So there's a lot of theory that I've spoke of, enabling hyper automation, etc. What does it really look like in the real world. So here's a picture of, let's say, an example organization, with different business unit. There's customer service, there's IT functions, there's HR, human resources, there's the procurement team, then there's governance, back office operations, etc. So in the real world, with this different business units, there are different processes, there's tool running within different business units, and then there are like different members managing their own day-to-day work, right? So if I'm an organization, I have a customer that needs assistance in one of our services or the product that we offer to the customer. What happens is the customer, of course, is going to call up customer service. And then there's different members involved within the organization trying to help this end user out. They start calling customer service, then customer service don't know the solution to what the end user is asking for. They're going to reach out to, for example, IT. IT is going to figure out, contact different members, look into the different technology solutions, sending emails to the back office team, So it involves a lot of people to resolve a question from the front end. The same story happens in the back office, right? Not just the organization's customer. What about an employee needing something, needing a question to be answered, right? It's the same story. The employee asks a question, goes to a certain system, goes to certain personnel, that's get rerouted to another department, more emails get sent, looking up different databases for an answer, getting to the procurement team, checking if we're compliant in certain policies, etc., etc. So all processes within the organization is extremely complex, involve a lot of people, a lot of emails checking, a lot of data lookup, and highly likely they're still going to be manual. So what ServiceNow enables us in this picture is that, that platform that connects everybody, all the platform together, providing that unified experience, a simplified way of doing day-to-day work or serving the organization's end customer. Not only that, right? I talked about build and automate. It's how we can deliver innovations with minimal time with no local platform. So embedded within the ServiceNow technology, there's artificial intelligence, orchestration of processes, integrations with all these other systems. And of course, to your concern, highly likely you're going to be interested in integrating with Google Cloud. And of course, with all this data available across the system, different systems that we can connect to, data analytics to understand how we can serve the world better, including how we can serve the organization better. So that pretty much summarized the ServiceNow platform in a nutshell. Now, I'm not going to go to the details, but just to have the next level, dive into the different technologies that we have. That's just the first level dive in. We have customer experiences where we would help financial industry in solving their day-to-day challenge. Some of the samples could be as a bank, there are customers like myself. I would apply for a loan. How do we cater for automating that process from filling in a form to apply for the loan, to approvals of the loan, to background checking for that particular customers until that loan request gets approved? How do we route those back office operations automatically? Technology excellence could involve managing IT assets, managing IT estates, understanding what the financial aspect of IT assets, or managing IT projects, etc. From the employee experience perspective, it could be, as an example, booking workplaces, reserving workplaces, onboarding as another example. What about onboarding employee, where when you start working for a company, what's going to happen is you sign the contract, and then you start engaging with, for example, IT to get those equipment to be delivered to you, like a laptop, a monitor, etc. Then you can start your work. So that end-to-end process is what ServiceNow can operate. Now, with all those operations, right, from C-level perspective, how can we get better analytics and understanding of the overall organization operations and perform better? Then the build and automate part, it's really, if we have a new idea to help our co-worker out within an organization to build out automated processes, that's where we come into. So in a nutshell, it's building application with low-code, no-code. Just to flash a few examples of what we mean by different spectrum with like short bursts of demonstration. Enabling an organization's customer experience or improving that customer experience. This is an example where I talked about, hey, certain, banking users would like to apply for a loan, then there are specific processes. And this is just a screen capture as if I'm in the back office helping the customer out, I might need some automated guidance as of what's the next step as of, collecting security background, checking information, checking with legal for verification of specific information, having a credit check, and then notifying the customer that their request is being approved. This is another example from helping end customer perspective for an organization. This is a streaming video company where instead of using that traditional approach of selling services onto a portal, what about having the end user the capability to have a chat with a robot where the robot will help the end user out in, for example, upgrading services, buy new video streaming services. Further extending to that end-to-end process, right? As I mentioned, it involves many different personas in catering for customer requests in an organization. This picture pretty much depicts it all as that end-to-end automation, including on the far right-hand side where ServiceNow can integrate with a lot of the systems out there. Another example would be, this is an application where, let's say, if I'm an organization, a customer is reporting an issue and require technical support. This is an application to look at what the customer issue is, match it with the right candidate, look at which technician is closest to the end user, and dispatch the technician to the customer requiring support, or in a visual manner as of understanding the location of the customer, the location of the technician, and their availability. So it's all up to your imagination what we can build on the ServiceNow platform. From C-level perspective, what they're looking in, what they're interested in, of course, analytics, right? They're not going to look into the nitty-gritty details of specific applications or specific process. They just want a high-level analytics as of what can we do better as a company to increase revenue, to increase operational efficiency, and to reduce risk. And so ServiceNow provide those analytics by connecting to back office systems and collecting analytics on different processes. So now from an employee experience, this is the unified experience that I talked about, like a single portal where employee can ask for help, find out answers, integrated with a virtual chat box through Microsoft Teams. So it's pretty powerful from that end-to-end perspective. Skipping forward, other capabilities or power of ServiceNow platform could include like managing projects, getting analytics on specific projects, getting financial where budgets needs to be increased or needs to be controlled. So I'm gonna skip forward as to other demonstration, as this one would be interesting from an employee perspective. If I want to book a room, and some of the malls that we visit nowadays have this interactive map capability, right? This is the application where the employee booked a room within the organization, and the interactive map actually guides the employee into that meeting room. So pretty cool apps that you can build on the ServiceNow platform. So I'm going to look forward into build and automate. For those of you who have joined last year's session, you probably have a little bit of familiarity with App Engine, which is the local no-code platform where you can build application through, as you're seeing in the screen here, a drag and drop experience in building workflow logic, application logic, or building portals and workspaces with predefined templates. So overall, with the front-end power of the ServiceNow platform, of course, we have a pretty comprehensive data model running in the background, collecting different types of data. And from the C-level perspective, again, it's utilizing this data, performing analytics as if, if we are to deep dive into the data, we want to answer these type of questions for the C-level. Where are we wasting, most of the time? Like, where can we improve? Where are we spending, and we can optimize spend? Where's the process bottleneck? And if we can improve and remove those process bottlenecks. So it's that extra analytics that helps organization out. So these are some of the use cases where we can help different ServiceNow customer from different industry, including like FSI, the public sector, energy and utilities, transport, manufacturing, health and life cycle sciences, etc. So that's why I emphasized at the beginning, right? Looking into last year's hackathon, it's not just the engineering students that have entered the hackathon. It's not just computer science. I've spoken to students that are from marketing. I've spoken to students who are studying finance, etc., where they onboarded onto the ServiceNow local no-code platform because they don't have a technology experience, but they want to build their innovative ideas on the ServiceNow platform using low-code, no-code. So that's where I'm going to dive a little bit about low-code, no-code on the ServiceNow platform, and highly likely, hopefully in this year's hackathon, we'll have attracted a lot more contestants in using our platform. So now, what the platform does for the students entering the Poly Hack, I would say you're creating the innovations to make the real work better for everyone. You're building applications. You're connecting different systems in the process of building application. You're providing a much greater experience on the top there that you see to serve those users of your application. So why low-code, no-code from a career path perspective? Like, I'm in engineering, I'm studying pro code, I'm a professional coder. Why am I listening to Carmen talking about low-code, no-code in a workshop? So if we look at some analytics, right, let's say Gartner, right? What they have researched is that there's a huge lack of developers. So there's a huge global developer shortage by 2025. So if you look into organizations who want to fulfill their IT requests or build application in supporting their business better, we're looking into a 750 million plus requirement of developers to cater for those needs by 2025. But in reality, that's the gap. The gap of 4 million developer shortage is on the right-hand side in meeting those demands of the number of applications needs to be built. So that's why, in reality, to be able to meet up with those demands, organizations is looking into the local approach where they can enable a bigger community of coder and building applications along with pro coder. So in reality, as of my day-to-day work, what I do with work with organizations, our customer, is basically I introduce the idea of citizens development program, where it would involve pro coder supporting low coder in building applications together. So the idea is to how do we expand and build much faster than we used to before. So as Gartner predicted, right, by 2025, 70% of applications will be built through low code for organizations. Compared to the figures 2 years ago, it was less than 25%. So we're expecting a hype in the low code, I would say the low code trend to come. So hopefully by then you guys have graduated and prepped to work with low coder all together if you're a pro coder. So as a summary, what low code does is build application fast, connecting these different business units that you see on the top there, sales, marketing, services, research and development, HR, etc., with our ServiceNow App Engine. App Engine is basically, predefined components. If you're a pro coder, you build these components so that other low code users can build on top of this component. So as an analogy, like we know what Lego is. Basically, we have these Lego building blocks where there's instructions, you put Legos together and build that lovely castle as an end product. Apart from that, from integration perspective, right? A lot of students ask about, oh, how do I integrate with Google Cloud, right? Of course, ServiceNow have out of the box what we call the spokes to integrate with common technology out there in the market. On the other hand, there are legacy technology that we will still want to integrate with, where we have the new concept of RPA. So RPA is basically, programming robots to do manual work for us. The robots would mimic myself in my work, and they would sit in to do the robot for me. So that's the concept of RPA robot. Document intelligence, then, of course, review documents, automatically process those documents and perform analytics on top of that as part of that end-to-end integration process. So here is an example of what RPA would look like, where the robot will open up that legacy technology, open an Excel spreadsheet, and mimic a human trying to enter those data into a legacy application. So that's an example of RPA. And if you have the chance to talk to a different organization, I can assure you that almost every organization either has RPA in place in automating some of the processes, or they're looking into implementing RPA within this year. Document intelligence is as simple as uploading a document and then have that document information automatically analyzed, where we use the important data out of the document in those end-to-end hyper-automation processes. So just to summarize, right, why low-code, no-code? It's basically to enable organization to be 4 times more productive. So from the perspective of PolyHack, if we can build application faster, you can then build a better application to enter the Poly Hackathon, right? And then from organization perspective, governance is a big subject in every organization. How do we, when we, for example, launch an application within the organization environment, how can we ensure that end-to-end transparency and governance of the quality of the application, if the application adhere to the organization's data policies and user terms and conditions, etc. And so that's what baked-in governance is about. And of course, as I mentioned, right, everything is on a single platform. So you've got the access to the data, the user interface, better end user experience, and different modules to build on top. As for the students here, the platform is actually free for you to develop on. We have a developer.servicenow.com website where you can get your free instances. So if you log into the website, create an account, you can apply for a free instance where you can start building. On top of the free instance, we also have free training courses on the developer website. So here I've highlighted where you can find those learning plans to learn about ServiceNow, the platform, or start learning about building applications on the ServiceNow platform. So here I'm showing you a few of those interesting learning paths that could help you out early in the stage in learning about ServiceNow. And then later in the stage, when you enter into the polyhack, you then can build applications really fast. On top of the developer website, we also post a lot of videos on the YouTube channel. I love following my co-worker's YouTube channel. His name is Xiao, and he most often posts like, this build an app in 10 minutes. How do you solve a problem in 5 minutes? And then he have another one where, how do you solve this RPA challenge in 7 minutes? So I like to follow his channel, and keep up to date with those applications that he built. The videos that he posted actually go through that step-by-step of building the application. And these are like short bursts of video. So sometimes even myself, I don't remember certain steps in building an application. I reference his video and get that quick help from his video in understanding what my next step could be on the ServiceNow platform. There are more detailed videos also on YouTube channel. Is the ServiceNow Developer Program. So from this channel, you can actually see experience as a ServiceNow employee, like a really, professional coder. What are the details that they get into, how they would, share their experiences on the ServiceNow platform to build these exciting applications that I've shown you earlier in the presentation. So that's what I meant to share in this session. Do shout out if you have any questions. Let us know what subject interests you. We have discussion with Jeffrey on a consistent basis, and maybe a career day to have a few, for example, invited speakers from ServiceNow to talk about how we got to where we are may interest you. Let us know. So I'm going to open the floor to questions.
Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop it down. You can, if you guys can type it in the comments, and then I'll read it for you so that Carmen can answer those questions. And also, if you guys have any questions in the future, we'll be opening up another channel, Discord channel, so that you guys can pop in. You guys can put any questions that you guys have while you guys progress with your projects. Or if you guys have any questions with ServiceNow, you guys can also ask about those.
I see Eddie made a comment about his audio is broken. I think my side is okay, but I'm the one who's been talking. I don't know about the rest of the people. Can we hear, were we able to follow through to the presentation? Or were there audio issues?
It was okay. It was frozen here and there, but it's okay overall.
Okay. I'm in a meeting room in the office, so it might be where I'm at. Sorry about that.
Well, we'll be also posting the recording on our GDSC PolyU YouTube page. So I'll send out the link to everyone who was registered for the workshop, and also in our Discord group and WhatsApp group. So if you guys want to go back and any part of the workshop that you would like to listen to it again, you guys can also check that out.
Carmen, you're on mute.
So if we're not getting any questions, shall we close the session early? As Jeffrey has mentioned, Discord is a good way to connect with us. I'm most often online, and you can like send me a question directly or post it onto the channels. So everybody, all the audiences on Discord can get the answer too. And I'll also be sharing like different resources onto the Discord channel as of the videos that I think it's interesting for us to learn about building the application.
So there is one question. I would like to know ServiceNow have any relationship with AI development?
That's a really good question. KB, are you on the line? If you are, may I interest you to answering this question?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
sure. Sure, you put me on the spot. Yes, we do. We actually, as Carmen mentioned previously, we've actually re-platformed a lot of capabilities regarding AI, especially in how we can do a lot of things around automation, classification, things around clustering and detecting patterns. So, especially when it comes to things like workflow, where we need to get the right tasks to the right people, allow us to leverage a lot of the data within the platform to drive decision making. So we leverage a lot of AI around that to give insights back to all the people that are involved in some of those workflows that we build. So definitely we do.
Any other questions? Does that
Yep.
answer your question, Sherman? All right, you said, all right, thank you. That's good.
One question that I frequently got like last year during our polyhack was about blockchain applications on ServiceNow.
That's a good question. The thing with blockchain application on the ServiceNow platform, as I've explained, it's more about automating processes, integrating systems, getting data out of the systems, analyzing those data, and then further optimizing processes. So as we've mentioned, as of from last year's polyhack, blockchain may be a different technology from process automation. So highly likely for blockchain, you might end up using pro code to build blockchains. But of course, on the front end user perspective, like if you want to build like portals and user experiences, then you can have ServiceNow connect to those back office logic. For example, blockchain technology that you've built in the back office and use ServiceNow as that front end.
Thank you very much. So if anyone else have any questions, you guys can drop it in the comments. And while you guys maybe prepare your questions, one thing that I would like to share is that ServiceNow said that they would like to offer this opportunity. So if you guys ask any questions, or if you guys like post your projects, we'll be creating a Discord channel. So according to that, for the number of times you guys post the questions, we'll be tallying up your points, and maybe at the end of we'll find a time. Everything we'll be sharing on our WhatsApp and Discord. So we'll be tallying up your points, and then we'll be inviting you guys to a place called Sandbox, where we'll be having VR party room. So you guys may be interested. That might be giving you guys a motivation to really study and learn the platform. And then, of course, at the end, during our hackathon, you guys will be getting like bonus points, bonus prizes for using the platform. So we really encourage you guys to try to learn and be and get familiar with the platform. And so if nobody has any questions, I think we can end the workshop here. And then you guys can also always ask us any questions. You guys can DM us through our Instagram, GDSC PolyU, and you guys can also post questions on our Discord. Yes, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much, ServiceNow, for providing this workshop for us.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.